It's your favorite news and current affairs program reaching you live from TVC News. I have Mojid Jamil still in the studio. Asukwo James and Babajide Kolade Otitoju is sending in contribution from our Abuja studio. Now, before going to battle, it is wise to set one's house in order. Though the 2023 general election is more than a year away, the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, is in preparation mode. It has fixed the 31st of July for the commencement of its world congresses after initially postponing it indefinitely. In a letter to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the party said local government state congresses will follow sequentially. Meanwhile, the Deputy Senate President, that's Senator Ovi Omoagege, is tasking APC leaders in Delta State and across the country on respect of party supremacy. Speaking at a meeting in the state, Senator Omoagege stressed that the party can only be vibrant and enduring when party interest overrides self-interest. Let's start from this, the Congress is scheduled. Now, before it was cancelled, it was states and local government state congresses that was scheduled, and the APC didn't tell us anything about its national convention. Now we have July 31st now that's been scheduled for those congresses, but the APC is still mute about their national convention.
Yeah, even
they continue to have a governor, a sitting governor
as the acting chairman
and caretaker committee.
Well, APC is riding so high now, especially with the gale of defections from PDP to APC, especially under Ebony. I mean, it's a season of harvest, but I hope they won't allow that to derail them and get into their head. There are certain timelines. Like now, one of the reasons given for the shift in these congresses is that they suddenly remember that they needed to give INEC a 21-day notice before they can embark on their congresses. So, I mean, there would have been a lacuna there. So, now, up till now, they are yet to fix the date for their national convention, and they want and even for the zonal. So, they still have a lot of work to do, but then, after 1 year in office as caretaker, I think apart from the harvest of, I think, is it 2 or 3 governors now, then the registration of new members into the party, they also said they needed time to allow those governors who just came in, I think, from Samfara and Cross River, to get themselves really embedded into the party and take a leadership position proper before they can, so that some of their members too can take part, can bring in their, can take part in the Congress. So you might say, yeah, fine, but then you can't continue to keep Nigerians in a position of apprehension about your national convention, because whoever becomes the chairman of APC holds a very, very big key towards what happens in 2023. You know that if they normal that they have not zoned it to anywhere, but if it comes,
the national chairman
comes from
the presidential candidate might not be able to emerge
from that zone. So it will be a pointer to what will happen in 2020. So that's why they are still dodging, that they are still very dodgy about fixing the date. You know, so they are calculating, very smart guys there.
Just PDP, they're talking about December, then I think APC too, they're watching, and these 2 major political parties, you know, they're watching. Now, in the school of thoughts, the people are talking about merit now. They're not talking about rotation. This weekend I was with Governor Yaya Bello, and expressly he told us that, look, that this thing should not be a function of where you come from. It will just be on merits. Now, after the North, it is accepted that the North, the South, after the North are finished their own, they are not talking about merits and across the board, that in APC, that this might be thrown open to all hands on
I think we shouldn't. I'm not a member of the APC, but because what they should be thinking of is how we'll have peace before 2023 and after 2023. Because if you say you're going to throw it open, when there was a gentleman agreement before the APC,
when was it written?
That is what I'm saying. Gentleman agreement might be written or unwritten. Agreement is like that. The lawyers will tell you that agreement is either written or spoken. Okay. You know. So if they had that gentleman agreement, and it's okay, fine, you guys should take the first shot. That when it gets to after 8 years, we'll take our own. People should not come and say that it should be on by merit. They would have done that gentleman agreement maybe after 4 years and say, okay, fine, let's do it on merit. But even at that, if they had tried that time, there would have been issues in the party. And so they wouldn't have even gone to the battle with problem. But as it stands today, Ayo, the APC needs to get its acts together. The issues about the caretaker committee staying far too long is becoming a problem, because once you start bringing in people from other parties and you have not even calmed the frayed nerves in the party before and you are bringing more people, there will be problem. Now you want to also now say that, okay, there should be merit at the top. Well, once you start to bring merit at the top, you are still causing problem. So the best thing is for the Man Abduni to sit down. I know it's going to be a difficult task for him, because you see, they are bringing more people. But the bigger problem is when they will decide where the national chairman will go.
Do you know, at the point in time when Nigeria felt that the People's Democratic Party, they weren't doing well that time, we had defections even from governors, and the handwriting was on the wall ahead of 2015 election that something is about to happen. But for the All Progressive Congress, in spite of the security challenges we're having across the country, in spite of the the downturn of economy and everything, their policies, they're still attracting all the big wigs from the People's Democratic Party. What do you think is responsible?
Well, I think first and foremost we have to bear in mind the state in which the president took over the reins of leadership. President Buhari enjoyed tremendous goodwill. Many Nigerians believe that the PDP didn't manage the prosperity that we enjoyed during the Jonathan years especially very well. And they brought us to the mess that we have found ourselves. For that reason, many people are prepared to simply ignore some of the shortcomings of the Buhari administration. The argument of some people is, look, he did not create this problem. He inherited a country that was seriously in a mess, talking about corruption and tremendous infrastructure decay. So for a lot of things that the president is doing at this time, many of them believe that whatever the problems are, it should be tolerated. It should not be blamed for all that has happened. I can tell you that if it were somebody less popular than the president, he would have been taken to the cleaners and almost literally heckled out of office by angry Nigerians. But he still enjoys tremendous support. I'm not saying he's still as popular as he was in 2015, but many people giving that benefit of the doubt that, look, this old man didn't create this problem. He came to solve the problem, and they can see some of the efforts that he's making to freshen up infrastructure in our country, road projects that have been abandoned are being completed. To that extent, people are prepared to look away at some of the bad things that are happening, especially security. But the party itself, APC, also knows what it has to do to win the next election. They also know that once President Buhari leaves office, the 12 million votes that he used to get largely from the Northwest may be difficult to get. So they are now recruiting governors and even federal lawmakers from the rival PDP. It's a template that delivered victory to them in 2015. It's the same strategy that was deployed. APC would never have won the election in 2015 if those 5 governors had not worked out on Goodluck Jonathan and then defected to the APC. They would never have won the election if a lot of those federal lawmakers had not decamped. So they see the poaching of governors and other key people as the silver bullet that would deliver the 2023 election to them as a party. So that's why they are working hard at that. It will look strange that at this time people are defecting to the APC despite the problems that we are facing in our country, especially around the economy and the security. But it's not the masses that we are talking about now. We are talking about elites. We are talking about governors, high caliber decampees. These are the people that we are talking about. And they know that once you have a governor in the state, that is strength. Once you have a sitting governor in a state, that is strength. So APC is trying to use those governors to deliver some of the votes that inevitably will not come his way once Buhari leaves. So they are looking for other oases of opportunity where they can garner votes and then ultimately be able to retain power. And they are working very hard at it. I warned the PDP at some point that, look, at the rate Mai Mala Buni was going, that they will almost need to go and beg him, because Mai Mala Buni has not done tremendously well. They are still, is doing his best, but there are still some crises in some states, in some state chapters of the APC that is yet to resolve. But he is focused on poaching his colleague governors, focused on poaching National Assembly members, because he knows that if they had not benefited from the defectors from the PDP back in 2014, they would not have won the election. Remember that some of the governors of the APC lost primary election in the PDP in December 2014 and defected, and they were given tickets by the APC to contest, because the APC realized at that time that it was not as strong as the PDP, and that if it had to weaken the PDP, the best way to make that happen is to bring in some of the juggernauts, some of the power people from his ranks. So that is the same strategy that they want to use in 2023. And you can see the Deputy Senate President saying, look, we can do all of this, but we must believe in party supremacy. People must subordinate their personal interests to party interests. Because they can do all of this. If people still do not respect party supremacy, they will be pulling in different directions and they may still fail to win the election.
All right.
What will determine who wins at the end of the day is the pattern of politics in the last 2 quarters of 2022. That will give us a clear direction of where this whole contest is headed. But for now, their strategy is good, which is to bring in those elements.
Finally, on
From
the
the
show
PDP.
today, the Joint Admission Matriculation Board, JAM, has been in the news for various reasons and is attracting attention from the National Assembly. The Senate Committee on Basic Education says it is working towards amending the law establishing JAM to stop the agency from admitting candidates below age 18 years into the country's universities. Now, the vice chairman of the committee, Senator Ekon Iyakenyi, said anyone below 18 years will not be able to pursue university education in Nigeria. Is age a concern? Is this the next thing now in our education system? What's the big deal?
I was quite disturbed and embarrassed when I saw that thing yesterday.
If you can make it earlier. If you
16,
can get your admission
16,
earlier, 16, 15.
16 is okay. I mean, I don't know why they... I expect that they should do something about JAM turning itself to a revenue agency, delivering billions of naira to government. Why not talk about reducing the cost of forms and or prosecuting, going ahead with the conduct of the CBT exams, the computer-based exams. Why not think of reducing the cost so that JAM will not continue to tell us that it's posting 5 billion profit or 10 billion profit? And now they said they are doing that because knowledge has little or nothing to do with education. In fact, the earlier, the better. I think the cutoff in most other climes is 16 years. When you have 16, you can enter university. Fine. You might want to say, no, they also said JAM is like a bridge for between secondary school and university. No, rather, I see JAM as getting itself too overburdened. Even for private universities, you still need to go through JAM. And if you want to escape JAM, they'll go and wait for you at NYSC. Because the NYSC will tell you to put your JAM number, your matriculation number, and matriculation number is synced into JAM. So they have a way of keying people in other schools. Of course, there are examination bodies that regulates entry into universities in other climes, but the kind of thing JAM is doing in Nigeria, fine, is good, but I think the consciousness of turning itself into a revenue-generating agency should be what the Senate should rather address, rather than talking about 18 years of age, which I don't think. I entered university at below 17. So I don't think that it should be a problem for anybody who is able to get his admission at 16 or 17. We have to wait till you turn 18 before you go to school. And now you have killed the higher secondary education, the one we call basic education in Nigeria. It's no more popular. The one they call grade 12 or 13, or the baccalaureate in other countries. It's not popular in Nigeria any longer. The higher school certificate.
Asuko, the youths between ages 16 to 18, the number, I think this is what JAM is looking at now. As in,
they said it. It's the Senate.
The Senate, sorry, is looking at now. And when you look at the number of people seeking admission, as at the time we sought admission those days, across the country, you had like 35,000, 40,000.
Now it's even more.
Now
there's a number that even universities will even admit.
Yes, admit. Now you have over 2 million people sitting for JAM.
No,
don't you think this is another way for JAM to now say, okay, want to streamline applicants?
No, even the existing law says that if they want to admit you into the event, you have to be not below 16.
Yeah.
And if there's an existing law,
that's the law. So if they want to now move it up, what will happen from 16 to 18? What will happen
that
to
is what do you have in
you understand?
In stock for them?
Because if you go to the UK You know, they divided theirs into two.
Yeah.
You know, either you're a college student or you're a university student.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're from 17 to 20, you can go to college.
Yeah.
From 19 to 24, you go to university. So let them do it that way. Not that they will now say if you are below 18, then you cannot enter the university. No, because at age 15, there are some super intelligent children.
Yep.
You understand? In secondary school, so the only thing they need is somebody who will help them when they either go to the, so what they should be thinking is, or saying is, that polytechnic, some age, maybe 15 to 18, should go to, or something. Let them break it that way. So that JAMB will be able to know that, okay, fine, they now have another duty. And then JAMB should also be thinking about making money. Because we have 2 million, just like you said, we have so many students who are coming out from the secondary school. The next thing they are doing is how they will get to the university. That is the first thing. None of them is thinking of going to polytechnic.
No.
None. So everybody is saying university. So the Senate should be thinking. You know, so what Senate should be thinking of now is how to make the polytechnic super attractive like the universities. So that once I am coming out from the secondary school, I know that, okay, vocation is my talent.
Or I want to go to college of education.
Or I want to be a teacher. Then from there, I will just move there. Once I'm 16, if they want to make it 16, make it 16. If you want to make it 15, make it 15. Okay. But let them be specific, and not that they will now say 18. At 18, some girls are already pregnant. so how would you now say a pregnant girl should now start thinking about going to university at that age? So the thing is, let them forget about age. Think about the talent that they have.
Babajide, what do you make of the Senate Committee's oversight visit to JAMB? This Senator Ikon Yakei, his proposal.
There are all kinds of ridiculous suggestions coming from our lawmakers these days. Some time ago, one of them sought to criminalize buying generators through a bill. All kinds of ridiculous bills and even plans by our lawmakers. It is already established that you must be 16 years before you can get into a public university in Nigeria. Before now, the law was not there. I think it was about the time when we were in the university that directive came, that you must be 16. Because it's possible for a child to be 15 and even get through school. I remember when I was in Abdulaziz Atta Memorial College, okay, we had a student, Innocent Ibrahim Ahmed, who had double promotion twice because he was just too brilliant. He's dead now. So, Okene man is dead. Extremely brilliant, and when they gave him exams for higher classes, he always excelled. My dad was English teacher and very strict in terms of marking. Innocent Ibrahim Ahmed still scored more than 60. So 2 double promotions for a student.
Back to back.
Now, once you identify that kind of student, what do? Do you then deliberately stop his growth? Nobody does that. There's no part of the world where that is done. We've seen children, very young people who became professors. It is what you are able to deliver that the other people think about. And once they can see talent in you, they manage you professionally so that you can be useful to the country. Well, in our own case now, 18 years, most people graduate from 15, 16. So what would they be doing? Even if they cleared all their papers, so they will then sit at home doing nothing until they reach the age of 18 before they can enter the university. This is a very ridiculous suggestion, and I can predict that it will not work.
To not see the light of day.
Even the mandatory 16 years of age that they came up with, already we have a situation in which parents are sending their children to private universities so that they can get around that directive. Now you are moving it to 18 years. I mean, you cannot, when majority of our children these days, they leave school at the age of 16. My son is 18 years. He's already in the second year in the university.
A year earlier.
You know, it was 18 years and I think 4 months. He's already in the second year.
So just imagine if you had a 15-year-old who joined the university. So add 4 years to it. By 19, he's already a graduate.
Yeah.
So
it's like they said, it's very, very ridiculous. And so what do we have the 6334 system of education for?
By Professor Babs Fafunwa.
Or the one some people call 6,334 system.
I'll thank you, Asuko James, and rounding off our boy, that small lad.
Yeah,
Adikon James.
Yeah, it's 5.
It's 5 today.
You know, young boy. Just like Jide is saying, at 15, I want him to just go straight to the university. I'm not interested in what Senate is telling me.
Maybe you go to Harvard.
No, that is it. That's
what Senator Icon is saying.
I'll thank you, and we wish Deacon James, Master Deacon James, happy birthday. Daddy loves you. And MJ, thank you for your contribution today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And our regards to Alaja in the house, and Baba Jide from Abuja. Thank you, Jide. Thank you for your contribution today. We expect you back home soon. And that's our offering today on Journalist Hangout. Join us tomorrow for another edition of the program. And don't forget to join us on Journalist Hangout on Sunday from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. And God bless Nigeria.